Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Erin. So this past week I had my 4th wedding anniversary, and in honor of that I wanted to do a video where I talk about the very best marriage and financial advice that I got all in one little piece. Because make no mistake about it, who you marry is one of the biggest financial decisions you will ever make in your life. Now, this advice actually came from my mom, and she gave it to me when I was very young. She told me, have 2 incomes, live on one and save the other. Now, the important thing to note here is I was a kid, so I took this advice very literally. So when I started working at the age of 12 or 13, I actually went out and I got 2 jobs, and being the super saver that I was, I saved both of those incomes. A few years went on and my mom said to me, "Why do you always work 2 jobs?" And I was like, "You told me to. You said have 1 income, save the other." And she's like, "That is not what I meant at all. I meant share your life with someone. Both of you should have an income. Save one, live on the other." Well, to this day, I still work 2 jobs and I still save both of those incomes, but that's another video for another time. Life is simply easier if you have multiple incomes. If you're in a relationship where you both have an income, your life is going to be easier. Now, do I think you should have multiple incomes? Yes, I do. Do I think you need to work 2 jobs? Probably not. However, bear in mind, life is easier when you have multiple incomes. Getting married is a huge financial move. It is one that is going to affect every single aspect of your financial life. It'll affect your job opportunities, your savings rates, your spending, and even when you can retire. So no pressure, but make sure you choose wisely. Now, I'm not talking the wedding. Yes, I know there's people out there who spend lavishly on weddings. Maybe they spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. In my opinion, you don't need to do that. I was able to do a super awesome wedding for about $3,000 to $4,000. So I don't think you need to go crazy overboard, but the wedding is just one day. That's a drop in the bucket. I am talking your entire financial life. When you marry someone, you marry their financial habits. And if they have really crappy financial habits, they are going to drag you down. If they have really awesome financial habits, like they pay off their credit card every single month, they tend to their credit score, keep it nice and high, they're contributing to a 401k, they are going to make your life much easier. And obviously you're going to be doing the same, right? Because you are in a good financial position for yourself as well. If you both have good financial habits, your life is going to be easier with this person. Their debt is your debt. Their savings is your savings. So again, make sure you choose wisely when you are choosing your partner in life. Now, what my mom was telling me and what she clarified at a later date was that you should have 2 incomes for the family. Live off one and save the other. And it was quite possibly the simplest, most beautiful advice I ever received. Now, I talk a lot about the FIRE movement on this channel. I love the idea of financial independence. I love the idea of being able to retire early. Whether or not I actually will retire early remains to be seen. I don't really think it's something I want to think about in my 30s. I'll address it again in my 40s. But not everyone wants to pursue the FIRE lifestyle. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. Personal finance is personal. You have to choose the journey that is right for you. So while I don't think that everyone needs to pursue the FIRE lifestyle, I do believe that everyone needs to save money. Now, I truly am an outlier in my family. No one in my family cares about the FIRE movement. They all do have really good financial habits, but my parents, my brother, they look at me like I'm a little crazy for my FIRE movement lifestyle. And that's okay. Since they have great financial habits, who says that they have to follow the FIRE path? My mom is 70 and she is still working. She works because she loves it. She doesn't work because she has to. So I think that's the key there. Everyone wants financial independence. If you can actually do a job that you love, why should you bother retiring? Everyone should have good financial habits though. Everyone should be saving towards their future, so it creates more options. It opens more doors. So my mom's advice to me, live off 1 income, save the other, was phenomenal. It's one of the best pieces of advice that I ever got. And yes, my husband and I do follow it. Now, my husband and I actually make pretty comparable incomes, so we save 100% of mine, and we even save some of his because, yeah, we are super savers and we really want to be able to have that option to retire early if that's something we want to do in our 40s. Again, we don't really know what we're gonna do, but we save as if we want to have that option. But my mom's advice that live on one income and save the other is not at all about deprivation or extreme savings. It's simply just monitoring your lifestyle. But let's throw some numbers into the mix and see what would happen if you actually did this. Let's say you and your significant other actually make the same income. Let's say it's $100,000 just to keep numbers nice and simple. So let's say you live off $100,000 and you also save $100,000. So if you're doing that, you would actually be totally financially independent in just 14 years' time. In that period of time, you would have saved up $2.5 million. And following the rule of 4%, you would be able to withdraw $100,000 every single year and even adjusting subsequent years for inflation. That would mean you would get to maintain your $100,000 lifestyle indefinitely. Not too shabby, hey? But let's say you and your significant other don't have the same income. Let's say you have drastically different incomes. In this example, let's say that one person has an income of $100,000 and the other has an income of $50,000, so half. In this case, let's say you want to live that $100,000 lifestyle. So you live off the higher income and you bank away $50,000 a year. Well, if you were to do that consistently, you would be totally financially independent and able to retire after just 20 years. Now, 20 years really isn't all that long of a time, considering that the average American is woefully ill prepared to retire even at the age of 65 after 45 years of working. Being financially independent in 20 years isn't a bad option. And again, in this scenario, you would be able to live that $100,000 lifestyle. But let's do one more example just because we can. Again, we're going to use those numbers of $100,000 and $50,000. But instead, let's say you guys are super savers and you want to live off the $50,000 income, but you're going to bank away that $100,000 income. If you were to do that, you and your spouse would be able to retire in just 8.5 years. That is absolutely incredible. Bear in mind, that would give you a lifestyle of $50,000, but being that that's what you're accustomed to, maybe that's really not all that bad. Remember, personal finance is personal. There are no rules. You get to create the lifestyle you want. Let's say for the first 8.5 years, you decide that you wanted to bank away this $100,000, but maybe once you reach financial independence, you decide to switch it up. You want to elevate your lifestyle a little bit. You want to live off that $100,000 income and change it to investing that $50,000 income. You can do that. It's your life. You make choices with your money. I'm just trying to give examples of how quickly you can become financially independent if you have two spouses working and saving one income and living off the other. There is no one right way to do your financial journey. Finance is personal. You get to choose how you want to do it. But one thing is for certain, if you choose someone with good money habits, it's gonna make getting to your money goals a lot easier. Now, my mom's advice was just common sense, is words that I live by, but common sense isn't necessarily common practice. If you choose the right financial partner, your life is going to be easier. Now, obviously, there's so much more to a happy marriage than simply money. Yes, money is a biggie, but you want to choose someone you love, choose someone that you have a lot of fun with, all while on that journey to achieving your financial goals and building a nice life with together. So I want to leave you with my mom's advice. Choose someone you love, have two incomes, live off one, and save the other. That's gonna do it for me today, guys. I post new videos every single week. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Also, please hit that like button on your way out, as it really does help the channel. And if you know of anyone at all who could get something out of these type of videos, please consider sharing. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week. Bye.